Nordeen with Accuweather. Our conversation this morning presented by Marcus and Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Jeff, I have to ask you, are you one of those guys that goes out when it's extremely cold and you toss a glass of water in the air to see how quick it freezes?
I thought you were going to ask me if I'm one of those people who go out in shorts and a T-shirt being from Minnesota.
We've had this discussion with several folks here this morning. Do you do that?
I mean, I'll be honest, when I go play pickleball, and I play in the afternoons around 1 o'clock, I go with my winter coat and my, under my waist is shorts. I don't wear pants. Yeah. Even if it's 18 degrees, it doesn't matter. If I'm playing pickleball, even if it's indoors, of course, I'm not playing outdoors, I will wear shorts into the building, and when I'm driving, of course. Yeah. As far as the cup of hotter water or boiling water, and do I toss it in the air and see what happens? Absolutely. That is a science experiment for anyone who wants to have some fun. But don't toss it over your head. Too many people do that, and it results in burns.
They toss it over their heads?
Yes, because they want to see that arch over their head. It's for, it's a TikTok trend.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, people toss it over their head. They get a beautiful screenshot, and then the water, if it doesn't evaporate, falls on their head, and it's still hot.
All right. Well, they deserve it. They deserve it.
Well, you can't fix a certain word.
Jeff, let's talk weather here. Of course, we hear domes and we hear vortexes. What we do know is it's dang cold outside, and it's going to get even colder over the next couple of days. What's happening? What's causing that?
Well, there's a high off of the west part of the U.S., and that high is very large and taking winds from north to south into much of the central part of the country, and, of course, it is being felt out here, too. So that's pretty much the driver, and it's really just pulling down a lot of the cold, frigid air. I mean, we're in the single digits right now, and we're only going to get to the low teens, but here's the deal. The winds are 15 to 20, gusting to 25 every now and then, and that puts the Accuweather real field temps into the double digits below zero.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So want to bundle up, and if you have to go out, limit your time. But I do have good news. The warm will come back. It's just a late week. We have to wait.
Late June, I think, is what you meant to say.
That's not what I said. Don't quote me.
Hey, Jeff, so the wildfires in Los Angeles, of course, the Santa Ana winds happen there. I think, when you talk about a weather front that is all the way over on the west coast of the United States, it really points out to me, anyway, that it's a domino thing. When you have weather influencing other pockets of air in other regions of the nation, everything just pushes everything around, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a push and shove contest that if unfortunate enough to be on the receiving side, which we are, we get cold. There's just no simple way to put it. Even central Texas will be experiencing measurable snow. Louisiana will be experiencing measurable snow. So while the high pressure off to the west is, keeping things windy and, somewhat warm, we all get the cold on the other side of it.
Yeah. Now, here in Indiana County, we seem to have we're sort of in the middle of a weird circumstance. When they're giving weather warnings all the time, it's like other counties that aren't in this area, and then Indiana County. Somehow it finds Indiana County this weather. What happens? What's causing Indiana County weather to be different from neighboring counties that are touching us but don't seem to have the same weather influences that we have here?
My hunch would be the higher elevation and the lower elevation. So the lower you are, it has a change, and then the higher you are has a change. I've driven along 22 countless times to Pittsburgh from, when you get off of 99 from Altoona, or at least just south of Altoona. Mm-hmm. And I'll drive through that stretch. I mean, before that, I'll be fine. Then I drive through, and all of a sudden I hit a snow squall because of the Laurel Highlands and, getting in between, Altoona and Pittsburgh, and I get a bunch of snow and cold. And then all of a sudden I get to Pittsburgh. It's like, what did I just drive through? Like a portal?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it really is the high and the variable, heights that, change the weather.
Yeah.
And it is quite interesting because in Brush Valley, there was 3 inches of snow, but you go south to Bolivar and that's 7 inches.
All right. No, I was raised there, and
I said the town name wrong, didn't I?
I just deducted points. It's Bolivar like Oliver.
Bolivar. Okay. I wanted to be fancy. Bolivar.
Yes, well, we're not of that ilk down there, Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's true what you say when you're coming across 22, because we always say that in Evansburg the snow stops in July and starts again in August. So it's just the way that it is. And here in Indiana County, summer begins on Memorial Day and it ends on the 4th of July. It's just, that's the way this region happens to be. But yeah. I doubt that we're unique from every region has its own foibles with the weather, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's the Minnesotan. That came out big time.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, going back to my hometown, I mean, you go from one side of the state to another, and you get your own climate. You also have the microclimates, if you will. And it really just, the phrase that I'm used to hearing is, while it's raining in one spot, it's sunny in the other. And people don't grasp that, do they? I'll have it'll be snowing bad in one location, and then it's clear in another that's maybe 20 miles away.
Oh, yeah. Well, it happens that way.
Microclimates.
My living room and my kitchen. It'll be sunny out the kitchen window and raining out the living room window.
Right.
Jeff Nordeen of Accuweather is with us. So Groundhog Day is coming up in less than 2 weeks now. And we're looking at the rest of this winter. What does it look like for us? What can we anticipate through the months of February and into March?
Well, the long range team continuously updating their forecast, making sure that they are up and true. What we have for February, I got to scroll to it here. We had February being above average, so that's good news. Mm-hmm. We're looking at mainly, like, if you draw a line along Interstate 80, south of that, and even along it, 2 to 3 degrees above normal. If you go to the north of that line, it's about 1 degree to 2 above normal for February. So we are trending the right direction. And then as far as precipitation goes, we're going to be expecting about 25 to 50% more in terms of precipitation. Now, what does that mean? Snow or rain? Well, depends on the temperature the day that it falls.
Yeah, you're right. I did want to ask you as well, Jeff, about the last few summers in this area have been extremely dry. Is that something that we can anticipate will go on? We'll have these hot, dry summers. Is that going to be the pattern now for the foreseeable future?
I actually have some good news about potential outlook. So we're looking at March and April to be around average, if not slightly above. And then May will be trending potentially above. So at least the start of summer has that potential of being, near average. But yes, we have had the unprecedented dry summers, and it's just been taking its toll on the creeks, on the rivers, and then, of course, even when it does rain, because of how dry it is, mm-hmm. the flooding risk is that much higher because the soil can't just go, oh yeah, I'm ready for it. Yeah. The soil's not ready for it. When the rain does fall, it ends up leading to flooding concerns, slides of sorts. It's just not a good situation. So the trend that we're looking at is above or around average.
We're going to run out of time with Jeff Nordeen here in just a second or so. You're a Minnesota boy, so you know about this. When you're outside and it's extremely cold, below zero temperatures, especially with the wind out there, Jeff, that's a dangerous time. People need to take that seriously, don't they?
Yeah, and, hypothermia and even, frostbite can happen very quickly. Now, we're talking air temperatures the next 3 days in the teens for highs. Overnight, we're in the negatives. Tonight, -3, and then tomorrow night, -11. So really limit your time those nights, and you still want to, even coming up Wednesday night, that's still going to be a cold night. I mean, 4 degrees, my goodness, I don't want to be out there for long either.
Not in shorts, anyway.
Not in shorts. And again, I'm only in them for a little bit of time outside. I don't, linger. I'm not just standing out there playing pickleball outside in 4-degree weather. No.
Well, because it's harder to find the ball in the snow piles. All right, Jeff. Hey, thanks so much for spending some time with us today. I appreciate that.
Hey, it's always my pleasure. You're fun to talk to, so I will look forward to it all the time.
He is Jeff Nordeen from Accuweather, and it is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.